Ok, es tiempo de repasar el subjuntivo. We're coming to the end of the unit y quiero repasar cómo se forma el subjuntivo. Bueno, como pueden ver aquí, usamos este formulario. Estos son clasificados como verbos regulares, aunque quizás le parezcan un poco raro. Siguen el formulario. Conozca, like I want you to meet somebody. Quiero que conozcas a mi familia. Tenga, these are actually all regular because they do follow the rule. Find the yo form, drop the O. We have some spelling changes. Car, gar, sar. We haven't talked about stem changing verbs, but then we have some that are completely irregular because the yo form didn't end in a O. You can't take the final O off of soy because it doesn't end in an O. So it becomes sea, estar, esté. Like if you said, I hope that you're doing well in a letter. When I was in high school, I wrote letters to people in Cuba, and so many wrote back and said, ¿Cómo estás? Espero que ustedes estén bien. Or they would say, espero que usted y su familia estén muy bien. So estén would be the subjunctive. I hope that you are, or hope that you are not something. Vaya de, sepa. A lot of times you say, I want you to know something. I want you to know I appreciate you or something. It's Teacher Appreciation Week this week. You could always message me and say, I want you to know I appreciate, I want you to know something. Quiero que usted sepa algo. Sepa que apreciamos, whatever. I don't know. You don't have to do that. But yeah, we have not worked a lot with yet. But for now, let's use it to say like there is something. But again, there is another use of that to say what somebody has done. So that's how we make it. Just as we wrap this unit up, we've also talked about the most common use of subjunctive is with the word que, though there are other ones. I hope that you guys can go with us on our trip. Espero que ellos, sorry, not you guys, they, puedan ir con nosotros. Y nosotros queremos que ustedes vengan con nosotros. There, that one. We want you guys to come with us. Also, after expressions like ojalá, we've learned how to give blessings like que te vaya bien, may the 4th be with you today, el 4 de mayo, like the force, right? Que esté con usted, or con ustedes. We've learned how to give recommendations using the verb recomendar or aconsejar, like yo sugiero que tengas más cuidado, or sugiero, or recomiendo, or te aconsejo que tengas más cuidado. Those are pretty interchangeable. Preferences also fall in that category. So, el maestro prefiere que los estudiantes no coman en clase. Also, commands. Somebody orders, demands, says, insists that somebody else do something. We looked at Cenicienta, Cinderella. And in that lesson, we also did learned how to use the word rogar, to beg. We didn't really work much with suplicar. Permission and prohibition also triggers. We haven't worked a lot with that, but like her godmother doesn't permit her or doesn't let her go to the dance, or she prohibits that she go. Su madrastra prohíbe que vaya, or no permite que vaya. No deja que vaya. Although that one you can also say some other forms, no le deja ir. But these are all subjunctive triggers. So here's our big map of what we're learning for triggers. Most of our categories fall under this bridge where we have two subjects. And here's our influence and our contrary to fact. You did the genius quiz, I guess, of trivia. But here you see what somebody wants, recommendations, preferences, insisting, requests, prohibiting. Then we also looked at the word cuando with anticipation. These do not follow the bridge, but just like when I graduate, I'm going to attend Ohio State. Let me zoom in. Okay, we've also talked about other cases where with adverbs, there's no change of subject. You just have to determine, am I anticipating a future event? Such as, some examples of that are, Cuando me gradúe, voy a asistir a Ohio State. La Universidad de Ohio State. cuando me gradúe, because I'm referring to a future time period. And this applies to cuando, hasta que, tan pronto como. And it's a little trickier with antes de que, because if you drop the K, you would say like antes de graduarme. So that one only if you have the K. That one's a little trickier. But these first three are pretty easy. So another example, te espero aquí hasta que vuelvas. So until you return, I'm anticipating you will return. But we don't use this if it's past tense, right? Seguí trabajando hasta que terminé. I kept working until I finished is not anticipating the future. But antes de que te vayas, come un poco de pastel. Before you leave, eat a little bit of cake. That one is. So there still are some other cases. One that's very easy is para que, which in slang, I lived in the Caribbean for some time, and boy, do you ever see a lot of pa que. In fact, if you just even Google pa que in YouTube or something, you'll find zillions of songs, probably reggaeton style, that start with pa que plus subjunctive. Here's an example. Trabajo para que mis hijos tengan una vida mejor. I work so my kids have a better life. And there are other cases, but I'm probably going to end these with para que in just a moment. But then we're going to apply mixing them all together. So here I am in YouTube, and I have not heard any of these songs, but pa que empiecen a tocar, so that they start playing music. So that. Here's another one I have not heard, but pa que bailen. Bailen is in the subjunctive, so that you guys dance, or so that they dance is the name of the song. A couple other examples. This one's kind of a funny song. Pa que me den con el bate. So they hit me with the bat. I don't know. I have no idea. But they, subjunctive of dar. Ya pa que, that is not subjunctive there, and that's kind of translates as like why already? Why? So there are other uses besides my example. But here, pa que la pases bien, so you have a good time. And I don't know. Again, I don't have any idea if these songs are decent or not. This is kind of funny. This is how we talked in the Caribbean. Instead of saying esto es para que entiendas, which by the way, entiendas is subjunctive. The way you talk in the Caribbean, esto es para que entiendas. That's how we talked. Esto es para que entiendas. Again, probably, I don't know the song, but probably reggaeton style. So this song I actually do endorse. This is a totally clean song, and it's just very catchy. Pa que lo bailen bien. Okay, so we're going to kind of try and mix a lot of these genres together now, and in this particular reading, we're going to try and find and fix any errors by switching from present indicative, indicativo de subjuntivo. So look for these types. We've added negative commands, and we never covered expressions of emotion, but watch for these today. Que lástima que. That's like what a shame that, followed by subjunctive. And another way to say the same thing is que pena que. It's like it's too bad that, and then you use subjunctive after that. So we're going to read through, and you just decide if a sentence is correct or not, or if it needs fixing. Juan starts it off. Eddie, ¿qué vas a hacer hoy? Eddie responde, no sé. Espero ir al partido de fútbol a las 2. Does that need anything changed? No, it does not. The reason is I hope to go to the game. No subject change. Pues yo no puedo ir. Mi mamá quiere que mi hermano y yo cortamos el césped. Any subjunctive there? You are right. It needs to say cortemos because of the trigger, which will put quiere que here as the trigger. And actually, I'm just going to put that in gray, I think. Quiere que nosotros cortemos. We have a que. We have a change in subject, which is now my brother and I. So that's a new subject, different from mom. And so I needed subjunctive. My mom wants my brother and I to cut the grass. Sugiero que lo haces por la mañana y así podrás ir. Any changes? If you spotted sugiero, that is a trigger. So good job on that. If I have a change in subject, do I? Well, this has an S and this is an O, so I suggest that you do it. I do have a change in subject. I do have a trigger. I have the K. I've set up for subjunctive. What would it be? It should be hagas. Sugiero que lo hagas por la mañana. Y así podrás ir. I suggest you do it in the morning, and that way you will be able to go. So we'll put that as the subjunctive there. Es que también mi prima quiere que voy a su fiesta de cumpleaños por la tarde. Is that all right? Or do I need to make any changes? All right, if you guessed that you do, you are right. Mi prima quiere, there's a trigger. If I have a change in subject, let's see if we do. She wants that I go. I do have a change in subject. So what's the yo form? Vaya, que yo vaya. And I could put yo in there if it's not clear. Mi prima quiere que vaya a su fiesta. Okay. Qué lástima que no puedes ir entonces. Que pases muy bien. That one's actually got a typo too. But what about this first half? Any changes or is it okay? Well, que lástima que is a expression of emotion. And I do need a subjunctive after that. There isn't a subject change. There's no subject before that, but this is just, I'm going to call this expression of emotion. Que lástima que always followed by the subjunctive. So, que lástima que no puedas ir. I forgot to highlight some of these over here. Okay. Que pases muy bien. So that one's missing the word lo or la. Depends what we're referring to, but have a good time. So, que la pases bien. Anyway, that's a subjunctive blessing. So hope you have a good time at your birthday party. All right. Gracias igual que te diviertes en el partido. All right. You probably recognize divertirse needs to be diviertas subjuntivo. So, all right. Let's move on to another conversation. Hopefully you found all of those. We had some suggestions. We had emotion. We had a K blessing, which is over here. K. So, okay, moving down. Another skit. Hola, María y Juana. Espero que ustedes van a venir a mi fiesta. Es hoy a las 5. Any changes? You are right. Espero que ustedes vayan. Let's fix that. Vayan because of the trigger I hope that. So it's I hope, and then I do have a change in subject. I hope that you guys go. If I said I hope to go, then I would just have espero ir. But I hope you guys go. Me gustaría ir, pero no puedo, Tomás. Mi novio quiere que lo ayuda a estudiar. Mañana va a haber un examen en la clase de biología. Any changes? If you spotted quiere que, you are right. And that would force us to use ayude, subjuntivo. Que lo ayude, here we go, a estudiar. Mañana va a haber un examen was actually correct as it is. Uf, what a great word. Espero que no es difícil. No he estudiado tampoco. Is that subjunctive? Yes. Espero que no sea. And we're referring to, I hope the test isn't hard. So I hope that it isn't hard. Okay. I haven't studied either. No estás nervioso, Tomás. No va a ser tan difícil. This technically isn't subjunctive per se, but it is a negative command. Don't be nervous, which borrows from the subjunctive. And so I need a accent mark on my E, which, let's see if I can do that. No estés nervioso, Tomás. That's sort of the subjunctive. It's a command form, which is borrowing. It's not going to be so hard. Tú lo dices porque eres genial. Yo no soy tan inteligente como tú. Any changes? No changes. Pues yo estoy esperando que nieva y que no hay clase mañana. Pero mientras tanto, voy a seguir estudiando. Mi mamá exige que siempre saco buenas notas. Any changes? I got tongue-tied there. Yes, there are some. Hopefully you found them. Estoy esperando que is a trigger. And so once I've spotted that, now I know I need to be subjunctive nieve. So nevar becomes nieve.